Namaste. If you've ever wondered why people become so rigid, so extreme, that they stop listening, they stop thinking, and start believing that their truth is the only truth, stay with me. Because what we are seeing around the world, the rise of political and religious fundamentalism, is not random. It's a symptom. And it says a lot about where humanity is right now. Fundamentalism isn't new. It's a pattern, a psychological, social, and a spiritual one. It begins when people feel afraid or powerless. When the world changes faster than they can handle. When their identity, their religion, or their way of life feels threatened, they cling to certainty. They say, this is the only truth. And once that happens, curiosity dies. This happens in all religions. In Christianity, we have seen it with extreme literalism. In Islam, through militant interpretations. In Hinduism, through political Hindutva. In Judaism, through ultra-orthodox rigidity. Even in atheism and politics, people can be fundamentalist about being anti-fundamentalist. Fundamentalism isn't about God. It's about fear. Fear disguised in faith. If you look around the world today, political polarization, social media outrage, and endless conflicts and war. People are exhausted. And when human beings are emotionally drained and economically insecure, they start looking for someone or something that gives them certainty. That's how fundamentalist leaders rise. They offer simple answers to complex problems. Here's who to blame. Here's what is pure. Here's what's evil. And when people believe those words, they stop thinking. They surrender their own intelligence for the comfort of belonging. But there's another way to live. And for that, we can look to the wisdom of Sanatana Dharma, the Vedic wisdom. In Sanatana Dharma, what most people call Hinduism, our ancestors designed a living system of truth and interpretations. They recognize that human understanding evolves, so they divided knowledge into two parts, Shruti and Smriti. Shruti means that which was heard. It's the eternal truth, divine revelations, the Vedas, the unchanging spiritual foundation. Smriti means that which is remembered. It's the human interpretation, the laws, the customs, the social practices that apply Shruti to time, place, and circumstances. When society changes, we must have a different set of rules, and that was Smriti. And here's the genius part. Smriti was meant to be rewritten to evolve as society evolved. It was India's inbuilt self-correction system, a sacred permission to update human law while keeping the divine truth intact. That's what made ancient India so enlightened. They didn't assume that they knew everything. They left room for discovery. But sadly, that system stopped evolving. Our Smritis are no longer rewritten. And that's one of the biggest reasons why even India, the land that once celebrated flexibility, is now producing rigidity. Now, here's something fascinating. The American political system actually borrowed the same genius idea from the Vedas. The US Constitution acts like Shruti, the unchangeable foundation, and amendments functions like Smriti, adaptable principles that evolve with time. The founding fathers knew truth must have both permanence and flexibility. If everything changes, chaos follows. But if nothing changes, tyranny begins. That's why America is a constitutional republic, a system built to change, but carefully. Exactly how Sanatana Dharma envisioned human wisdom evolving. So what creates fundamentalists? Fear and rigidity. What dissolves them? Wisdom and adaptability. Fundamentalism happens when people mistake Smriti, that is human interpretation, for Shruti, divine truth. When you think your book, your flag, or your ideology is the only expression of God, you've already separated yourself from the divine. But the sages of Sanatana Dharma knew better. They taught that truth is infinite and that we must keep refining our understanding, because the moment we stop learning, we start decaying. So maybe the cure for fundamentalism isn't another ideology, but a return to intelligence with humility. It's the courage to say, I don't know everything, and I'm willing to learn. Because that's how civilizations evolve, not by defending old truths, but by discovering higher ones. If you understand this, you understand why Sanatana Dharma was never just a religion. It was a mechanism to keep humanity awake. Yes, a way of keeping humanity woke. And if you understand this, you'll also see why I believe America's Shruti and Smriti system, its constitution and amendments, might be the very thing that saves it from tyranny. Because the power of any civilization lies not on how loudly it defends its old truths, but in how wisely it renews them. Namaste.